YouTube fans. What's going on? Just getting squared away here to make sure that everything is going to be looking good and great for everywhere that we're streaming. And it looks like we are money right now. So perfect. Welcome everybody to another episode of Caps and Conversations, where we like to keep it light. And we are going to be having a very special guest here today, and I'm super excited because one of the things that, like, a broad generalized concept of what we have going on the show is that, you know, we're here to kind of help push those people
Can I have you shut
that
that door when you're done?
are
Thank you.
stuck sitting on the sideline to do something that will kind of like make their lives easier. Maybe not instantly, but set them on their path, get them going, you know? So we line up, special guests every now and again to have on the show to talk about what their journey has been and how it's been for them. Some struggles that they've gone through, among other things, just to kind of like, keep everybody on the up and up. So today we're going to be having Brock Doty, who was in the backstage devouring our caviar and champagne. Well, we'll bring him up right now. Brock, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Bob, how's it going, my man?
Very good, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed to be here. I appreciate you extending the invitation and kind of letting me come out and speak to your audience and be part of your team for a couple minutes.
Oh, man, no problem. We're very, very happy to have you on board. And by the way, I just got off the line with Lamont, and it's exactly what I said. He had a moment where he was taking a nap.
Is he jumping on?
He's gonna be jumping on here in a bit.
Awesome,
Um, but
awesome.
that's good, man. That's good. So okay, let's start from the very, very beginning.
Yes, sir.
Who are you? What are you all about? Where are you from? Lay it all out for us.
Alrighty, so my name is Brock Doty. I'm a small town Montana boy that uh, moved his life to Texas, Dallas, Texas, living in the city. Um, and I've been here for about 3, 4 years, and I just am so grateful for this opportunity. But um, I, I'm just someone that can't settle. I'm someone that um, is always trying to better myself, always trying to make things easier for myself and the people around me. And so, um, yeah, I was growing up from a young age. I was raised by a single mom, and she has definitely instilled um, independence into me and showed me that nothing in life is handed to you. And so
Awesome, awesome.
it's been great, man. It's been great.
So,
But
what exactly was it that uprooted you from Montana and migrated you on over to Dallas, Texas?
yeah, man, like I said, I so after I graduated undergrad in 2021, I moved to a super small town with less than 1,000 people, and they didn't even have a stoplight in that town, Bob. That's how small it was. And
Wow, that's
yeah,
crazy.
one grocery store, one gas station. Mind you, I grew up in a small town that had two gas stations, a stoplight, and a grocery store. So I definitely went a little bit smaller there, and I just realized that hey, small town USA isn't for me anymore. I'm ready to do bigger and better things, and I've always felt like an A player in a B game. I don't know if that's something that you can relate to, but I
Hmm.
just feel like I was destined for more, and small town USA wasn't meant for me.
Right, right. Well, that's cool because I can understand, right? Like you have that small town feeling, you have that small town competition.
Absolutely.
Because one of the things here in Miami is like competition is everywhere. You open that door and there it is right in front of your face. So
Yep.
whether you like you're applying to different colleges, or if you're trying to get a certain promotion, or if you're applying for a job, like it is right there in front of your face. Because you got people all over the world that are coming over here to Miami. And it's crazy because like, the competition is extremely fierce. Unless you're able to branch out and make something for yourself, to where you're gonna stand out is where it's gonna be like, okay, that's the man, that's the person that I want on my
Mhm.
team.
Mhm.
So keep going, man. So what is that you're doing nowadays? Like, what's your 9 to 5? What's your everyday job?
Yeah, so I currently work as a manager for a Fortune 500 company, and just been living life there. But like I said, man, there's more to life than that. I've also always felt like this education system has taught us from a very young age that there's only one way and one way only. You go to school, get good grades, get a good job. There's no education on the entrepreneurship realm. There's no education on doing something for yourself. They want us to fit the mold to be an employee, and I, I don't feel like I have the employee mindset. And so, I actually, here's a little sneak peek. I'm launching a podcast tomorrow at noon Central. So 1 o'clock Eastern time would be your time,
Okay, yeah.
and that's what I've been working on lately. That's consumed my everyday thoughts from January. I've always been somebody that um, loves talking to people, loves getting to know individuals and who they are and why they are the way they are. And so I had it placed on my heart a couple years ago to do something like this, but I've never taken action, never done it. And so I finally said in December, you know what, I'm going to do it. What's been holding me back? And I couldn't think of anything. I have the finances, I have the time. What's holding me back? It's my mind, and that's the only thing that is my mind, not my heart, because my heart's been in it. And so the podcast is actually going to be called "The Stories That Shape Us."
That's
And
very,
so,
very cool. Very, very
yeah,
cool. Like, so let's recap a little bit here. Lamont, welcome. How are you? How was your nap?
how was your nap, old man?
See, fortunately for you guys, you get to see the other side of wisdom. So when you get this to be this age, half a dinosaur age, then you start regulating your sleep. But
Just half or three quarters of a dinosaur?
well, a quarter is a quarter of a quarter, you know.
A
But
quarter.
but then what happens is your body says, "Okay, old man, maybe you should call it a wrap for the night." And I didn't listen to it, you know. So, by the power invested in me, I am now here. Lord Brathwaite is here, your metric specialist. Sorry to butt in on your
Here
conversation,
we
but
go in the middle of the
you know,
freaking podcast. You
Oh
still had a
man.
moment to get it in there.
Brock. See, one word of advice: it doesn't
Hey,
matter
man.
what time your
No, no,
podcast is, how long your podcast is. You can do your intro in the middle, the subpart end, or the
it
end.
matters.
So it
It
doesn't matter.
matters.
Oh
I
man.
didn't even go through my intro just because I was like so like heartbroken that
Why?
you weren't here. I was missing you, man.
Hold on, let me get the lights right so you can see me when I say this. I'm always going to be here for you, Bob.
Oh,
Always.
oh, oh.
Well, hey, to at least cut you a little bit of slack. You are in Germany, and it's 10:30 at night there. So, was that a nap, or was that you went to bed and you're ready to rock and roll again?
No, I did some traveling early, so I had to get some stuff out the way. So my day actually started at 4:30 this morning. So, and I
Oh,
said,
thank you.
with the caliber of special guests that we got going on today, I have to be here. So let me take a nap first. And I said, this would be
Oh
awesome.
man.
Let me take this 20-minute nap that turned into 25, 30 minutes, and I'm here.
Well, hey, I'm happy
That's
you're here,
awesome.
Lamont. Even though it's your podcast, welcome. Conversations.
Look at that, man. We got Shannon in the house giving you a whoop whoop from Montana.
Whoop
Hey,
whoop.
Shannon,
And
welcome.
we got Cheryl
Sherelle's in
saying
the
I put
audience
off
too.
my
Oh,
nap
okay.
to watch you guys who wasn't even here. No, she
Oh,
didn't
Oh
wait a
say
minute.
that.
man.
Wait a minute.
I
Wait a
added
minute.
that
Wait a
part.
minute. Okay.
But hold on, man.
Podcast.
Let's
All
recap
the
right here.
podcast episodes will be edited by me. Thank you.
Let's recap here. So we've got man, I'm sorry. I like murdered your last name. I was saying Dottie.
Dude, That's not the worst
Doty.
I had. When I was wrestling in high school, my senior year of high school, I got up because I placed during a tournament, and they came up and they go, Bruce Daughtry. I'm like, huh?
Oh no.
Bruce Daughtry?
Wow.
You mean
Okay,
Brock
so now
Doty?
I don't
Yeah,
feel so
yeah.
bad. I don't feel so bad. So Mr.
Uh,
Doty from
feel your
Montana,
pain.
like super small town, right?
Yep.
Was it one stoplight, two
One
gas
stoplight
stations?
town. I graduated with 32 kids in my graduating class.
Oh, that's
Wow.
crazy.
Wow.
And yeah, man.
Valedictorian.
Hey, when I tell people I placed fourth in my class, I don't tell them that I'm out of 32.
Oh wow. Oh wow. So
And
your secret
so
is
you
safe with us.
uprooted yourself, and you moved over to Dallas, Texas, where
Yeah,
I guess
uprooted in
it's cool out there.
2022 to Dallas, Texas. And
Okay.
like I said, man, I've always felt like I was destined for more. I was just
All right.
tired of living in small town USA. Nothing wrong with small town USA. I love going back, love to visit, but there's not a lot of opportunity there. And so I was just like looking for opportunity. I I studied business administration, and so like coming back home for school or after graduating my bachelor's degree, I didn't have any opportunities really, and um, I just was looking for more. And so I called my aunt and uncle and I'm like, hey, can I come live with you guys till I find a job? And they said, absolutely. And so I thought it was great that I had that support system from
That's
day
true.
one.
That's true. Yeah. A lot of people
And
don't have that type of support.
no, they
That's
don't.
true. That's true. Put that. I'm gonna need you to put their numbers in the chat so I can use it after you finish. Whenever you.
All right,
What, to
ready? It's
help you
gonna
find
be
a good spot to take a nap?
8675309.
There
I
you
got you.
go. There you go.
I'm missing a couple
Yeah.
numbers, but I'll find it.
So let me ask you something, Brock. Like you work for a Fortune 500 company, and I know that those guys can be like kind of finicky and stuff. Just want to make sure we're not breaking any bylaws that they have by you being on a podcast. And
Nope. I just am choosing not to disclose what I do to protect myself, I guess, right now.
all right,
But
perfect,
nope,
perfect.
it's a great company. I have not signed an NDA or anything, so um,
All right,
I do have my security
cool,
clearance, and I can't talk
cool.
about some big things. But
Oh, from one Brady to another one, I still have mine too, so it's all good.
even though you're a German citizen,
Uh, I'm a German citizen, but I'm a blue card passport holder, so that never changes.
attaboy, attaboy.
So Brock, so you decided that okay, you just got fed up. Whatever, the real underlying reasons were, working 9 to 5, coming from a small town, uprooting yourself and being, part of Dallas, Texas, you're breaking off into the world of podcasting.
Absolutely.
This is where the rubber hits the road for me because this is
Yep.
what I really want to talk about. Tell us why you wanted to do something like this. Like, I mean, like, it sounds to me that you have, the all American dream going on for you. And you're like, no, I don't, I want to do something else. I want to do something more. I want to do podcasting. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, man. There's 8 billion people in this world, and I believe that each of those 8 billion people have a unique story to tell. And I think our stories that we have to tell are shaped by our experiences and our challenges, um, and even our defining moments. And so I believe that just the three of us sitting here right now, our three lives are not the same. We live completely different lives. We may have similar interests, podcasting, football, whatever it may
Mm-hmm.
be. By the way, go Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know your guys' team, but let's go Steelers. And so I believe that our stories hold power and they shape our identities and they influence our everyday decisions and connect us closer to who we're actually meant to be and to who we're meant to come in contact with in life. And so I think every story matters, whether it's marked by struggle or triumph or even self discovery. So I think sharing our stories um, will allow us to inspire others and like learn from each other and find um, meaning in both differences and shared humanity. And so that's kind of a little bit of why I wanted to do it, because I'm just curious. I'm curious to know why people are the way they are.
All right, so
Yeah,
I'm curious about something. Like, what is your guest lineup going to be? I'm assuming that it's not just going to be a you type of podcast. It's going to be an interview style based podcast with guests like every episode, or is it going to be every so often?
Yeah, so I'm launching tomorrow, like I said, on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and Facebook. You can find the stories that shape us on those platforms. But tomorrow is really all about kind of why, the origin story on why I'm doing it.
yeah,
So, um,
gotta have that.
exactly, I agree. I think I learned from the best. I think I've been watching this podcast called Caps and Conversations with Bob and Lamont. And so I don't know. They had an origin story, so I'm like, I think I need an origin story. And
Yeah,
so
everybody needs an origin story.
I
Even
agree.
Superman, when he first came out, we had to find out where he came from. So be the Superman of your story and let us know where you come from and what you're all about, man. That's
Absolutely.
what people love to hear. And just to not to knock you off your what you was talking about, because we came in along the same lines of there's millions and millions of stories out there, even billions, even that people will resonate with because some people are in the same place that you're in, or that they're in. And
Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
a little it might just take a little bit just to give somebody a push or give somebody enough knowledge to go on to the next step. And that's very powerful from my standpoint because I've seen that, I've heard stories, and the stories that I've heard, it helped me. So why not grab some more stories and put it out there for the world to hear? And if you're tuning in on Facebook or on YouTube or on Spotify, we are one big happy family, and in some way, we're all connected in some way. We
Yes,
might
sir.
not have the same things going on or the same foundational path, but there's something in that foundation that it might trigger somebody else to say, you know what, I was there, but I didn't get over that point, and somebody else can come in with a story and say, okay, this is what I did, and it'll help that person just like that. Information is free. You just got to be ready to accept it or receive it.
Exactly. I agree. I completely agree. I think what you said was awesome, Lamont. Like
Oh, thank
one
you,
person,
thank you.
you can reach one person with your story. You're doing God's work. Who knows
Yeah,
where they're at in
yeah,
that life? Like, who knows what they're going through in that very moment? And maybe they needed to hear your story and
yep,
connect with you. And I don't know. I just am so blessed to be surrounded by so many people that have been supportive of this journey and encouraging. And so I also kind of want to give back to them, let them tell their story because we
yeah.
hear so much about the billionaires. Like, how much do you see about Elon Musk on the news, Bob? Like living in the United
Oh,
States. Like,
No, it's nuts.
we
It's
see
nuts.
so
it's
much
every,
about that man,
it's everywhere.
but we don't hear about Joe Schmo from Kentucky. Like,
Yeah,
Joe Schmo might be just as brilliant and have great stories to tell, but he's not ultra rich and famous, so his story doesn't get published.
right,
And
right.
so I always have posed the question that, like, what if the moments that have challenged you the most were actually shaping you into the person that God has meant you to be? And so I believe personally that our experiences, both good and bad, can shape who we are. And
Definitely
so
can.
you're just a decision away from changing your life. You can pack up your pickup and drive to Dallas, Texas.
A decision away. I really like that because it's so true, and that's for everybody who this message is received by. If you are on the sidelines, thinking and hoping and wishing and dreaming, it takes 2 seconds to say yes and start doing something about it. Your
Yeah,
your dreams are way too important for them to be placed on hold by the dream maker, which is you. If anything, run into obstacles. Let other people be the ones that put up the barriers for you to conquer, for you to overcome. Brock, man, this is super amazing. I'm really excited to catch your first episode, your origin story. I'm definitely gonna be watching for that. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Hey, man, that means
Well,
the world. Thank you, Bob.
we both will be there, but Bob is the CEO slash half founder slash CMO slash everything of Caps and Convos. So
Flash doesn't
you
take
know,
naps in the middle of the
if
day.
no, but but
Can't say
Bob
that.
doesn't sleep at night. So I want to put that disclaimer out there because
Hey, it's
Bob's
the
an
only
alien.
time that I get to work. It's the only my kids are asleep, my wife's asleep. I dedicate time to the computer. That's like right now I got my family trapped in a room so
At
that we
least they're
can
not in
have
the
this
closet
moment.
anymore. We've upgraded. They're
Yeah, I'm
smarter
gonna
than
need
we
you to
are.
reword that
They're in a room. Yeah,
trapping
no,
in the
no.
room part.
Trapped
This
in
is
the
for
room, but with the
entertainment
luxuries
purposes
of
only.
life. No, no, no. They have
Yeah.
television, they have XM radio. They're good. They're good. They have a PlayStation in there. It's all good.
Okay,
Do they
so
have
this is
Cheerios
what.
so they can eat?
Yeah.
I loaded them in there with what is it? With these guys right here. Um I'm not
Oh
officially
my gosh.
sponsoring Bubbly or sponsored by Bubbly, but they've got that good stuff in there, along
Oh,
with potato
all
chips.
right, all right. We don't
It's
mind
not
going
just
to the
bread and
dungeon,
water.
Daddy. Just give us some of this stuff.
Yeah,
But what
Man,
time? What time is your pod? Will your podcast be? Because I want to make sure I hit it at the
at
right time.
noon,
And
man. This guy's
it,
going at high
it's
noon
going
in
to be 7
Texas.
o'clock Germany time,
7 o'clock German time. Okay,
high
that'll work.
noon Texas time.
Yeah,
Yeehaw! I'll be there
You
in
know
the
the
audience,
saying,
cheering
everything's
you
bigger
on.
in Texas? Dude, that is
That
so true. Like the
wait,
big
wait a
gulps.
minute. Wait a minute. That's not true.
uh-oh.
I have to dispel this myth because I was in Dallas a few years back, and things were bigger in Texas until they ran into the Dallas Cowboys. Now everything looks so small.
You're
You
right.
know,
Their logo is not just a logo, but it's a rating. It's a 1 star
It's a
rating.
1 star
a
rating.
1 star rating, yeah. Then everything collapsed after that. So don't shoot the messenger. I was just saying. I was just passing through.
Uh,
You guys are gonna like really hurt our viewing because if anybody out there is a Dallas Cowboy fan, they're not gonna want to sit and listen to this
yeah, if you're
anymore.
a Cowboys fan,
Well,
let us
well,
hear from you. Drop a comment.
well. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say, I have to put this to rest because if you hate me because of that, you must hate the last time they've been on a championship or in the Super Bowl because that's when they had VCRs. They don't have VCRs anymore, man.
I
So
wasn't
we
even
can't view.
alive. Lamar.
Oh my god.
I wasn't even
Damn.
alive the last time they even made an NFC championship, let alone a Super Bowl. But I see we have another Steelers fan in the house. It looks like Ashley's a Steelers fan.
Yeah, you saw that?
Yes,
Well, I'm
sir.
cool with the Steelers. I'm cool with the steel curtain.
What's your
Steel
team,
curtain's
Lamont?
fine. I'm plead the fifth on that one because only
He's a
because we had
Giants
a
fan.
couple of rough. Hey man,
He's a
don't
Giants
let it out
fan.
like that.
At least it's
I
not
gotta
a
let it out.
Cleveland Browns fan, but the Giants are just as bad.
Well, they only bad because they let Saquon go, and I'm happy for Saquon that he got his ring this year with
Yeah,
another
that's cool to
team,
see.
a rival team at that. I'm just a hater all the way around because my
How
team
about
is
you,
terrible.
Bob?
But
Do you watch football?
I mean, I'm a homeboy. I'm a homeboy, so I'm with the Finns. I'm a Doll fan.
please,
What? 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 I'm a homeboy, okay?
A
Miami Heat,
homeboy.
Florida Panthers. Those are my teams. I'm cool.
Florida Panthers,
I'm
what
cool with
the
it.
hockey team?
Yeah, they
Florida
play like
Marlins.
45 minutes away from here. Miami Marlins. Florida Marlins. Come on,
Well,
man. That team don't exist no more. It's the Miami Marlins.
Yeah, it
hey
should have been
man,
the
I don't.
Florida Marlins.
Uh,
It should have. That's when they won a championship.
but either way, how long is your podcast going to be? How long is it going to be structured to be? Like an hour,
I
two
think with this first
hours?
monologue, it'll be about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But with my guests every week, I'll probably make it from 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how the conversation goes. Just
That's awesome.
go with the flow.
Yeah,
The best way to
absolutely. I
go.
mean, like you can't like really put a time limit to like what your content is going to be about. I think that's one of the mistakes that we made. Not not really a mistake, but like looking into what other people were doing and then going through that whole imposter syndrome stuff. whatever you put out, you put out. That's what it
Yeah,
is. Because like I think Joe Rogan, for example, like his podcasts are like 3 hours long.
3 hours, bro.
yeah,
Three
but
hours long.
he has top tier celebrities. I mean, I'm not saying Brock, you're not a top tier celebrity because you're a top tier
Brock, you're
celebrity for
top
us.
tier. You're
I'm
top
honored.
tier. You're top
We're
tier.
all on the same level. Now, if I was to go get somebody like who can I get? Who can I get?
Serena Williams.
Yeah, well, I don't think our network couldn't support
All right, fine.
what
Donald
she
Trump.
what she's bringing to us. You know, she was like, yeah, Captain Convos. Yeah, let me look at it. No.
No, that's a hard no.
I
I
mean,
got you a
but
dollar. You remember that old Geico commercial? I got you a dollar.
you almost got it.
You gotta be
You
quicker
almost
than
got
that.
it. Yeah,
But yeah,
but
I think Bob, you hit on something about imposter syndrome,
yeah,
and I think imposter syndrome, respectfully, is a myth. Um, I think you want to surround yourself with people that you want to be, because they say that if you um, surround yourself with top 5 people that you want to be, you will eventually become the fifth, or just like them. So
Yes,
four,
yes,
you'll
yes,
eventually
yeah.
become the fifth.
yeah,
And I I'm a also firm believer that nothing in life is a coincidence. I think everything happens for a reason. One door may close, but it's only pushing you forward to the next door that is destined to open. And so, um, yeah, we kind of got sidetracked, but imposter syndrome popped in my head.
No, no,
nah,
that's
here's
cool.
here's
That's cool.
here- here's one you can try out. You said everything happens for a reason. How about think of it like this: everything happens because you thought of it. And I often say, that's just a part of it, because I often say what you tell yourself is what you will become. Now, I've talked negatively about myself, and it went south. Um, but the more I did that, the more I started noticing, nothing good comes of anything that when I try to down talk myself. I didn't have the confidence early on. I didn't have, what the bravado some people, to get out here online, or even just do a live. I wouldn't do it a year ago. That's not me. I wouldn't do it.
Where'd you find
Uh,
the shift at? Like, what made you gain confidence over time?
I stopped telling myself what I can't do, you know, and
Limited
start
belief.
telling myself, yeah, I started telling myself what I can do, or something positive that's attributed to me. And it gave me some sort of confidence. And the more I did it, the more the confidence started to build, the more, I started to get out of my own way, and that was the biggest thing for me. And it stops a lot of people, because at some point in time, it was like, yeah, I want to try this, I want to do this, but they don't do it because of one thing. They'll tell themselves, well, I'll do it tomorrow. Well, I'll do it next week. And then tomorrow never comes. Next week never comes. And then you missed 365 days out of a year that you said you was going to do one thing and never even attempted. So I said, you know what? No matter what I look like, blind, crippled, or crazy, I'm going to get out here and do something. You know, it might look funny to other people, but that's me. That's authentically. Is that the word?
Yeah, that
Let me
works.
use authentic. Now I
Blah,
got two
blah.
words. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was worse. It was worse than that, because I would get on the camera, and I would look at myself, and I would like, yeah. So my name is Lamont Brathwaite, and I'm going to host this podcast. And then I did this a couple of times. I recorded it, and then I looked at it, and I was like, why am I so scared to talk to myself? You know. And then I came up with another solution. I said, well, maybe it's the camera. Let me shut the camera off and just talk for about 5 minutes, see what happens. That opened me up a little bit. And then the next thing was, okay, well, maybe I don't have to look directly at the picture. I can look at the camera and not see anything else. And I'm fine with that. But the minute look at me and I'm like, oh man, well, look at my hat, and my beard is not combed, and my eyes might be a little puffy, and everything that pops in my head that's negatively affecting me, I just put it all aside. I said, you know what? I don't care what I look like. I come out here looking like Grandma Moses if I want to, because
Grandma Moses.
Grandma Moses. I don't know who that is, but
Praise God.
That could be you. That could be you. I could see you.
let the church say amen. But just to let you know, you have to get out there, and you'll surprise yourself with the number of things you can come up with if you could just get out your own way, man.
And the thing is,
I've seen,
don't be afraid to fail. Like, you're gonna fail, but fail forward. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
and that's how you learn. Like, I read a lot of like, my mom calls them self-help books, but I say they're leadership books, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I read a lot of like John Maxwell, and um, he talks about if you're gonna fail, fail forward.
Yeah.
And something that really stood out to me on one of his books is when you get knocked down, land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up.
You get up. Yep.
Yes, sir.
that's cool. Yeah, John C.
Certainly
Maxwell,
true.
he's a super influential, even at his fragile age. One of the people that I follow is Vin Jiang, and he's like an English Asian guy that's like a motivational speaker. But his main thing is how to communicate. He's an expert in communicating. I love the way that he's able to break down everybody who asks him a question and
Mm.
shapes it and aligns it to where the information that he regurgitates back to you is put in such a simplistic form that anybody can follow it.
Yeah.
It's crazy to know that we are all like English speakers, right?
Yeah.
But the line of communication or the vehicle in which it's being communicated could be so distorted from what
Yeah.
one person is saying to what another person is listening to.
Oh
It's
yeah.
crazy. It's
Well, one
crazy.
thing that can get you in trouble is text messaging. Like, if you send,
Oh yeah.
"Hey, can we
Yeah.
talk?" Like, I'll send somebody a text message and say, "Hey, can we talk? I'm in my office." They're gonna go down a rabbit hole. Uh-oh, he wants to talk to me. Like, what does he want to talk about? Blah blah blah. I'm just gonna say, "Hey, how's the family, man? Like, I haven't seen you in a while." Like,
Yeah. But now I'm already
text
scared
message.
because you're already in the office. I'm like, hey man, I don't know what's going on. It's Fridays. Supposed to be calling the office. Yeah, my phone ain't working right now.
Right?
Taking naps.
Exactly. Like, text message can take things out of context in a hurry. And
Well, I
so,
mean, to add on to that, you can just add one word in the text that's well, you're aware of autocorrect, and these iPhones are the worst because
hey, Apple gang, right?
I've said some things that I didn't want to say that my phone wanted to say apparently, and I would get either I would wait for a text to come back and wonder why it's taking so long. Well, they on the other end trying to decipher what I just wrote, because it was one word. It's like, did he really want to say that, or did he really call me a hoe? It's like, it's like I was like, man, you know what? Proofreading matters, but when I'm on the whim, when I'm doing multitasking, which you should not do most of the time, I'll text, and then I'll go, and then
Yeah.
I'll just wait. I think I did Bob like that, and I told Bob, I told you something today, and you just sent back question marks. I don't know if it was to another question, but it threw me off, and I was like, you know what? I'm not following the thread, or maybe maybe I'm not seeing things. So I had to scroll all the way back up. And then I was like, oh, that's what he's talking about. But it took me almost 20 minutes to respond because I didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. It can all get taken out of context. I have a
oh
funny
yeah.
story. My grandma used to use the text to talk feature, and
Oh,
she would just ramble and ramble, and like, you know how terrible it is. It can't pick up on anything.
no.
And so she'd be talking like she's talking on the phone, but she's not reading it. And then she'd end the conversation and go, "Okay, talk to you later. Bye bye."
Jesus.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Those
Yeah,
voice
man.
notes come in
Man.
handy. You
Yes,
gotta
yes,
have those
I
voice notes.
do.
So
Oh,
we
man.
I want to make sure you're lined up right. So you got your podcast going, you got your setups on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. What are you doing as far as I want to say promo? Because you got to get it out there in advertising.
Yeah.
So
So I've
what we usually
created
do is
a.
we try to do it during the week, or especially we try to hit it hard, and when it's getting close, like 24 hours, we probably Bob will shoot some promo, and I'll shoot some promo, double down on it. But
Okay.
during the week leading up to it, put something in your stories. I'm having a podcast. If you're having a special guest, might want to add that in there. But as long as you, I want to say, make the public aware or your network aware of what's going on Saturday, then you'll have the maximum show out.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've created a Instagram page, and I followed a lot of my following that I already follow on Instagram, and they're slowly following back. Some aren't, some are, whatever.
It
Um,
takes a little while.
yeah, it will. Nothing's gonna happen overnight.
No.
And so I've created an Instagram page. I've created a Facebook page and sent out uh, like requests on that, and then I'll share from those pages to my personal pages so that way people can see. I actually had something that surprised me last Monday. I posted a live broadcast on my personal Facebook page and just said, "Hey, I'm starting a podcast, guys. Like, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'd like to go, where I'd like to go," and I had a 2.4K total views. Um, yeah, it blew up, and it
Good.
surprised the hell out of me. I was like,
Yeah.
"Wow, I think I can do this. I have a following already." And one of my friends told me, and it was so important, and it made me like reconfigure things in my
Figure.
brain.
Yeah.
But people are coming to hear what I have to say. They're coming for
Yeah.
me. They're not coming for the message. They're not coming for the the text per se. They're coming to support me, and I
Right.
just have to keep them there.
Yeah.
And so it's got to be engaging. It's got to be interactive. It's got to be fun, and most importantly, it's got to be the official Brock Doty. That was an
That's
Man,
awesome.
Instagram plug. So follow my IG, the official Brock Doty.
yeah. See, he's learning. He's a quick learner. That's why I love Brock, because like I said, you can add your intro in the middle and the end. It doesn't matter as long as you get it in. But let people know what you're about, and then when you open up to the people, and you know, canter up to them, and if you see them in the audience, and they want to ask you questions, answer them.
Yeah,
They're there to support you. Let them know that you see them, and let them know that you're real and they're real. So I
absolutely.
mean, hats off to you, man. I'm congratulating you early because I know it's going to be a successful one because you're actually starting. You're doing something that 90 percentile won't do, and that starts something. So
Yeah, thank you, sir. I appreciate that, Lamont. That means the
not
world.
a problem. Did you call me sir just now, man? Wait a minute. Is
What do you
that
want me to say,
grandfather?
Graybeard? Thank you, Graybeard.
Okay, well,
Graybeard.
I take it as a come. As I say in Germany, it's kein Problem. Dankeschön.
All right. Well,
That's
thank you,
awesome.
Herr Brathwaite. How about that? There's a little German for you. I took German
Okay,
in
yeah, I'll
high
take
school,
that.
bro.
Did you?
I took German in high school. Best 2 years of my life, man. It was awesome. We were actually
But do
gonna
you
go on
speak it now?
not much, but I know enough to like I know
Get by?
words. How about that? I know words.
Well,
So
you know what? I've been over here for a lot of years, and I know a bunch of words, and some of the words I say they still don't understand. So,
like ich spreche Deutsch nicht.
yeah, ich spreche Deutsch, aber they said my grammatics is not there yet. I'm like, it'll never be there. This is not my mother tongue, so it's not going to work like that.
I feel exactly the same way. Like I have, even though I'm like, Spanish descent, I have a real hard time with like understanding that every object can either be male or female, but never
Yeah,
both.
Masculine or
yeah,
feminine,
yeah,
yeah. German's
yeah.
the same
I
way.
don't I don't get that. It doesn't does not compute. Does not
Yeah,
compute.
yeah.
Are you pretty fluent
Well,
in Spanish, Bob?
I'm very fluent in Spanish. I can send your mother to hell, it's easy.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
easy. But if you're telling me that in this instance, right, that hell is masculine or feminine, I don't
Well, if
know.
your mother's
Do I
going to
say
hell, then it's feminine. If your father's going to
Yeah,
hell,
yeah. That's what I would say. Well, I could be
that
wrong.
that is what
Don't
you would
judge me.
say? That is what you
Yeah.
would say. So if
I
I were to
mean,
say el papa and la papa, do you know that they're two different things?
el papi.
Mm,
No.
El
yeah,
papa is the pope, and
Oh,
la papa is the potato.
what? A
Yeah,
Catholic potato.
Just saying.
taking Spanish off my
Just
bucket
saying.
list.
Yeah, I
Just
know
saying.
words of
Yeah.
Spanish too. Just like living down here, like I have picked up on it. I know words, and I can understand kind of what they're saying, but I don't
Uh-huh.
understand like complete sentences.
So
Well,
is the
just
Mexican population fairly huge there in
We,
Dallas?
we honestly have a melting pot, man. There's Africans. There's a lot of Hispanics, like El Salvadorians. Um,
Wow.
we have a lot of Haitians. It's a melting pot, man, and I love it.
That's crazy. I had no idea it was like that.
Indians, like galore. I love it. There's probably the minority is the white man.
Yeah, that's how it is here. That's how it is here.
I love it though. It's so cool because like going back to my roots, it was only Native Americans and white people. I didn't know any different.
Yeah.
But I love the melting pot, and that's what America's about because we were
yeah.
founded on immigrants, and I think that's what's kind of brought the United States to where we're at now. Is we're founded on immigrants, and we are um, building the nation's backbone through everybody coming together as one.
That's
Cool,
cool.
cool, cool.
That is absolutely cool. Well, if anybody out there, actually no, this is sorry, this is Lamont's segment. Let me stop.
Yeah, if anybody out there, piggybacking off of Bob, if anybody out there has any questions for me or or Bob or our special guest Brock Doty here, please put them in the chat. Don't be afraid to ask. You're just one ask away from maybe solving a potential problem that you may have. So, ask away.
So you got me curious though, Brock. Like, what's on the other side of that cap?
I'm repping
Damn.
my University of Montana Western Bulldogs.
Okay.
Is that a upside down W? M?
It's a U. So this is an up top brand. This is a Montana brand,
Uh-huh.
and then this is our logo for undergrad. What's cool about this school? I'm gonna plug the school real quick. Is that we have what's called a block schedule, and we do a class for 18 days in a row, one class at a time, and then after those 18 days, you finish on a Wednesday, and then you have a 4-day weekend to have at it, and you start up at the next class on Monday.
Oh,
So
that's awesome. That's
it
awesome.
it was great, a great way to do undergrad. Grad school was a little different. I went to grad school. I attended grad school at TCU, and that's like all classes. I had evening classes because it was a master's program, but um, it was a semester based, and so I had classes on like Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and evening times, and that was just harder to manage.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when my wife was going to grad school, it was the same thing. Like when she took night classes, it was a different ball game altogether, especially during the winter time because it's like you never see the light of day.
No, isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Do they have daylight savings in Germany, Vermont?
Yeah, yeah,
So that's a
yeah. They
worldwide
do.
thing.
Actually, it's coming up shortly. I think in about another month or so, and we're gonna shoot forward an hour, and it's gonna be even worse to do podcasts. You know,
Because those naps are going to hit strong because it gets darker.
them
Yeah.
naps, man. Them naps are different when it's daylight outside, man. I'm telling you.
I love a good nap. I'm not knocking on your naps. I just got to give you a hard time.
Hey, you know what? You got to get in where you fit in. Sometimes your body just says, you know what, you need a break. You deserve a break, and I'm one. I listen now, so when my body yawns, I yawn right along with it. I'm in sync.
I agree.
So
Me too. All right, say less. I'm taking a nap. I don't care
yeah,
if it's
because
10 in the morning and I wake up at 4:30 like you do,
yeah,
or
because
if it's
here, here's
2.
here's my rhetoric. Here's my rhetoric. I sit down and my body be like, huh, and I'll go, huh. Next thing, it's a done deal, man. So
Are you a
That's a
snorer?
I
wrap.
well, that depends.
Depends on if you're asking your wife or yourself.
Well, She always asks me if I'm snoring. I'm like, I don't know. Are you snoring? We don't know. So, but I just tell her I'm not a snorer, so I don't
I
snore.
found
I'm
I found that
silent,
if
man.
you wake up from your sleep abruptly, you definitely snore.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Huh.
Because that is your snore letting you know, hey, wake up. Or you have sleep apnea and you're not getting enough oxygen in, and you're like, I gotta breathe.
You
Hmm.
ever slept standing up before?
No,
Nope.
I haven't been in the military. Thank you.
It's an art, man. It's an art, man. You can do this because I've
Maybe
done it.
that's the
We
next
had one day.
podcast episode. How to sleep standing up.
Yeah,
Something like
I don't know
I mean,
about. I don't
I
know how
don't
that fits into
recommend this
life,
now.
ambition, or business. I guess in the ambition part.
That's yeah, that's heavy on the ambition part because first of all, you can get away with it, and then when they come over to you, Lamar, you sleep? No, praying.
oh, you need to ask for
Okay.
forgiveness for lying.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
Well, I
goodness.
was already in tune with them. Just sit here like this and this. I can sit here and stand against something and just lean on something just ever so slightly, and I'm
Yeah.
stuck right there and just
That's
close my
crazy.
eyes. Now, if I don't snore or anything, nobody ever know till they tap me on the shoulder. Hey, you sleep? What are you talking about sleep? I'm listening to everything. What did he just say? He said the same thing he was going to tell you before. I don't know what he just said, but you know what he said. Don't
Oh
just put
my
it on me.
goodness. What branch were you in?
Yeah. No, I wasn't in the branch. I was in as a contractor,
As a
and
contractor, gotcha.
yeah, and I went everywhere. So we'll save that story for another time because I had the
Yep.
best times over there. You
Yep.
know,
They definitely send you everywhere for sure.
had fun, had fun.
Well,
All that matters.
let's go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. Everybody, thank you so very much for making it out to another episode of Caps and Conversations with our special guest, Brock Doty. I'm Bob Gonzalez, your web design strategist. And if you ever need,
You know how
I'm just
you
messing.
you know how you
I'm
was
just
you
messing.
growing up and you went to school and stuff like that, and then there was always this one person that we used to read in a circle. There was always that one
What?
person that every time he got up, he was like, when Bob does my intro, that's what happened. Why you steal my intro, man?
I'm
But
not stealing
anyway,
anything. I'm not
but
going to steal
but
your thunder.
anyway, business is going to be booming in the year 2025, and if you ever, I don't have my brim hat, so if you ever need metrics to
If
guide
you
your
ever.
business, I am the man.
All right. And everybody, be sure to catch Brock Doty's podcast, The Stories That Shape Us, which will be airing
Tomorrow at noon central.
All right,
high noon.
all right.
All right. Sounds
Is
great.
this in a group? Is this in a group or?
It's on Spotify, um, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and Facebook.
All right, all right. Heard it from the man
Sounds
himself.
good. All right,
Alrighty.
everybody. We'll see you next
Thank you
time,
guys. I appreciate
which is
your
actually going to
time.
be tomorrow. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning, we'll
It's
be
gonna
on
be a busy
again
day.
with
Yeah.
a little bit of Kentucky. So we'll see you then. Take care.
All right,
All right.
and we're off.
Awesome.
Should be off.
We are off.